Did you vote?
Did I vote?
Yes.
I guess I didn't vote. I guess I didn't.
So you didn't vote?
I didn't vote.
So what do you think about the new president now that you didn't vote?
There's no new president, though.
Yes, there is.
Since when?
Since they voted.
What? Well, nobody told me about this.
Where you been?
I've been here.
Were you getting beat up by your boyfriend or something?
No.
Are you allowed? Hi. Are you allowed to watch the news?
Yes. I've been watching it more often.
Oh yeah. What do you think about it?
I think it's a lot of show and tell right now.
Yeah.
A lot of show and tell.
But you didn't vote.
I guess I didn't vote. I don't think I did.
So if we have the wrong president, you can't complain.
Well, I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I didn't vote just yet.
That's the problem.
Well, I am going to vote for him.
You're supposed to do this.
Well, I did in my head.
And then this. Good morning. Welcome to Fellowship. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you all so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line and Hake, whoever he is, he's running around making sure everything's working. Will pass on your, there he is. He will pass on your questions and comments to me, all right? Good morning, y'all. Morning. How's everybody? Good. Amazing. My seat feel low. I feel like a midget. Oh, you can't say midget. I feel like a little person.
But don't raise it.
Right, I won't raise it. I'll deal with it though. What?
Only Bill really knows how to put it where, so.
Right. No, it's fine. Anybody here for the first time? Nice. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
Alex, name's Alex. Heard about you, first saw you like 5 years ago, right before COVID.
Oh, okay.
And then just watching you on and off. Since then, more now.
Well, welcome. Any questions or comments?
Not so far, just taking it all in.
Right on. Well,
Yeah,
welcome.
glad to
man.
be here, thank you.
Absolutely. Right here, I think. Jesse, you here?
No, I've been here. This is my second time.
Oh, okay. Right here, I think. Jesse, you here? Yes, sir. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name is Emmanuel. I heard you through YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you married?
No, not yet.
Not yet. You going to get married?
Yes.
She said no. He was like, yes, and she like. And will your wife obey you?
Yes.
She told you that?
She will.
Did she tell you?
No, I haven't asked her yet. She's going.
That should be the first question on the date.
Yeah.
On the very first date, you order the meal, they're waiting for the waiter to come, and you're like, oh, if we should get married, would you obey me?
Yeah.
If she says no, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Have you heard me say that before?
Yeah, you've said it before.
Why have you done that?
Because I don't think I need to ask her because she should know by now.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
You beat her?
No, I don't beat her.
Well, how would she know then?
Oh, not physically, but maybe mentally I beat her.
Nice. Well, welcome. Any questions or anything?
No, not
Right
yet.
on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning. Welcome. This is your first time, right?
Yes.
What's your first name?
Pearl.
Are you the possible fiance? Are you the one that's going to be possible to the wife?
He knows.
That's the conflict. And will you obey him?
Yes, I already do.
You already obey him? Nice.
That's why I'm here.
Is that hard to obey him?
No, not at all.
You wouldn't be here today if you were not obeying him?
Pretty much.
Right on. What's your first name?
Pearl.
Welcome, Pearl.
Thank you.
I had a woman last Sunday who told me after the meeting that she wanted to, when she decided to obey her husband, she said it was the hardest decision she ever made in her life. And she said after she made it, she fought to hold on to the decision because she did not want to do that. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What do you think about women who do not obey their husbands?
I think all the problems happen, and then you realize, like, oh, maybe I should have let him lead me from the jump.
Right on, absolutely. Well, good. Nice. Well, welcome. Any questions?
No,
Anything you disagree with me about?
no, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But I mean, it's my first time here,
So
so
you ever heard any of the shows or anything?
I've heard bits and
Oh.
pieces.
I'm sorry.
I've heard bits and pieces, like when
Okay.
he's always listening to you.
Right.
And so when he was like, oh, we should go to LA and watch him, I'm like, oh, let's go then. So that's why we're here, and I'm
Nice.
excited to be here, so.
That's a good way to get her here, man. Right on. You got her.
Yep.
And who else first time? Right here.
How you doing, Jesse?
Good.
I'm Devin. I've been watching you for years. I actually used to work in this area a lot. I just never knew you were right here until
Right.
recently, but it's my first time here.
Well, welcome, man. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No,
Okay.
just here taking it in.
Right on. Is this your first time?
Yeah, yes, it is.
And what's your name and how did you hear about us?
Brenda, and I heard about it from him. We've been watching you guys, or you, for a while now,
Right on.
but him longer than I have.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Any questions about anything?
No, not really, not
Okay.
yet.
Amazing. And your first time?
Yeah, my name is Jonathan. I've been watching you for 4 years now. And yeah, you've had a big impact on my life. So I just wanted to come out and see you in person.
Right on. Welcome, man.
Yeah.
Amazing. Is this your first time?
Good morning. Yeah,
Morning.
Daniel. First time was happened to be driving by. I think about 6 months ago. I stopped it for a couple of minutes, but I was a little bit late, so I had to come back again.
Right on, man. Well, welcome. Amazing. And your first time, right?
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. How you?
I'm good.
No woman is good. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Do you believe you're good?
Oh, that's a deep question.
Thank you.
What? Are you still asking me?
I haven't got an answer yet.
Oh. I said that's a deep question.
Right. And so I asked, do you believe you're good?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I think I have capability of being good or bad.
And so do you believe you're good?
A good person? Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
Interesting. And how are you a
Scared.
good person? How are you a good, what's good about you? When you say, I believe I'm a good person, what's good about you?
I feel like I have a good heart.
What's good about your heart?
I think I'm just naturally just, nice, good person, don't want to harm people.
You don't want to, but you do anyway? You don't want to harm them, but you do harm
Yeah,
them.
because I'm a human.
Right.
Yeah.
And so your heart is, which way is your heart, good or bad?
Well, it's capable of both. I'm a preacher's daughter, so I know where you're going with this.
You do?
Yes. Basically, I know we weren't born. We were born with sin. That's just like that. That's what we were born with. So,
Right.
I mean,
And so what's good about your heart?
I just don't think I'm a bad person. I mean, I don't feel.
But you can't think of anything good?
Oh, I'm very compassionate. I'm most of the time want people to be happy.
You want them to be?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I want people to be happy because I like seeing people succeed.
I'm sorry?
I like seeing people succeed and be good and cool and happy.
Nice.
Yes.
So let me ask you, a preacher's daughter?
I am. Oh boy. I should have said that.
And so what was it like, and then I'll move on. What was it like growing up as a preacher's daughter? Was that hard on you?
Yes.
In what way?
I mean, that's a long story, but I think because my father, everyone saw him to be something better, I think, above.
Yeah.
And he was just a human to me.
Yeah.
And I saw him be very human. So it can be kind of confusing.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to some, over the years, preachers' children, and they had a hard, rough life
Yeah.
because they were trying to be good, but they couldn't.
Yep.
They were being teenagers, they were being kids, but they needed to try to be good to give their impression to the world. Because the world saw the father as good, they figured the kids should be the same way.
Yeah.
What a mess, huh?
And I wasn't. I was pretty rebellious.
I can tell. I can tell you were a mess. Well, welcome.
Thank you. Are we finished?
For now.
Oh, Lord.
I'll be back. Amazing. So, any questions? Thank you. I was about to say, let's pass the bucket and go home. I have a question. Go ahead.
Well, it's more to the question of, did you have a life this week?
Oh, good.
So I had a life.
You had a life this week?
This past week.
Right
You know how you
on.
asked that
Right.
question?
Absolutely.
So last Sunday, there was this loud car impact of a car hitting another car. And in that moment, I thought, that's my car. But I discarded it because I'm like, the guys are out in front. They'd be like, hey, whoever has the silver car. Long story short, I walk outside. My car is demolished. And as I walked, I knew
Did they have insurance?
Well,
The people
yeah,
that hit it?
they had insurance.
Were they illegal aliens?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
But in any event, the part of where I worked on where I, really watched myself for the first time in my life, Jesse. So I walked out of the door and I saw that my car was partially in the street.
Right.
And immediately my car was only 1 year old. Immediately my heart dropped and I said, out loud, stay present, stay present. So as I walked to the car, everything vanished. Every remnant of anxiety or whatever vanished.
Nice.
And I walked up to the officer and I said, oh no, what happened? And he thought I was a passerby, the way I approached him. And he said, is this your car? And I said, yeah, it's my car. And he asked a second time. And I just went through the motions the whole week. And of course it's a hassle, but I just did literally what's right in front of me. And what I got out of it is that it's a car. It's as if I lost a pair of shoes or a pair. It's not.
Absolutely.
It really isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I had my proper, credentials or insurance and all of that. So I learned this week that I have expended so much energy making a big deal out of things that are so minute. Like nothing is a big deal, I'm learning.
Right.
It will get handled appropriately in my favor. So that was big for me because I've never watched myself like that, especially in something that was so severe. And another thing I learned during that is that people impact us, like they project. Like when I would tell certain people about what happened, they would expect or want me to feel a certain way, if that makes sense.
You're like, oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that.
Exactly.
Oh God, and now you're supposed to like boo-hoo.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I watched all of it, and it was just, it's been so, it's almost, it brings that scripture where Paul said, or whomever it was, something like, rejoice in your trials and tribulations, something to that effect.
Yeah.
It really brought that into clarity for me for the first time. I get it because I grew so much, I learned so much, and I got a chance to really watch myself.
Well, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Certainly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. How you doing?
Excellent. How about you?
All this well. Have you learned anything since I last saw you?
Not really.
What?
No.
Nothing. Really? What's that like not to learn anything?
I mean, it depends on what.
Anything. About you.
What did I learn about myself? I mean, same old. Nothing new.
So you stayed the same.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
You are Allahu Akbar person, right?
You know it.
Oh, yeah. Allahu Akbar. Hold your necks.
Hey, next Sunday I'm going to come with my turban.
I saw this guy at the gym, and someone introduced him to me, and we were talking about Christianity, and he like, I'm a Muslim. I'm like, oh God. He like, what is it? I asked, do you have a belt around your waist at the gym? And I was like, I had to hold my neck. He like, are you serious? And he asked the person that introduced me, is he serious? I was like, am I holding my neck?
That's funny.
Does your future look bright?
It does.
And so what does it look like? What does bright look like?
Bright looks like having a good life, not have to worry, stress about money or, nothing bad happens. Well, I mean, we'll see. Try to stay present for the most part.
Right.
Can't control the future. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen when I leave here.
Right.
So.
And so when you say it looks bright, what do you mean by that?
I mean, life is good.
I'm sorry?
Life is good.
And what's good about it?
What's good about it is having a good health, being healthy, having good food, good place to stay at.
And so your future look bright with those things?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
The simple things.
Those are simple things?
They are.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, welcome
It
back,
is amazing.
man.
Thank you.
How long
Good to
gonna
be
in
back.
town?
For a while.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
We'll get you saved.
You'll see me.
Right next to you, does your future look bright?
No.
It doesn't?
I don't really look for it.
You don't look for it?
A future.
And why not?
Because that would take me away from right now.
Oh, amazing. So you're not expecting a future?
No.
Okay. Nice. Does your future look bright?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Meaning what?
I'm just somebody that likes to, I kind of am not real, I don't think ahead. I'm pretty in the now.
Right.
I'm just naturally like that.
You don't think about the future?
If I did, I'd be more wealthy and have a better job and all those things.
If you thought about the future, you have more money?
Yeah,
I would
for sure.
get busy thinking about the future.
Huh?
Why don't you want more money?
Oh, I do, but I just think that I'm somebody who doesn't really, I'm a very, I have had a rough life, so now I'm pretty happy and I'm good with where I'm at.
And what's a rough life?
Oh, Lord. You really want me to tell?
Unless it's so private you don't want to put it out there.
No. I'm in recovery. I was a heroin addict.
Really?
And I'm clean, yeah.
You were a heroin addict?
Heroin.
That's what white people love, that kind of stuff. white people just don't smoke crack or they got to get the real deal. And so, and why were you that?
Why was I that? Woof, that's a... I turned my back on God.
And how did you turn your back on God?
I just decided he didn't exist. Well, I was angry, thought that he didn't exist, and stopped living my life that way.
Oh.
And I think it opened me up to a lot of bad
so
things.
So you thought God didn't exist after a while?
I don't know if I truly believed that, but
But
yeah,
you did say
I
that.
tried to believe that.
That he didn't exist?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, you don't exist, I'm going to get me some crack?
No, it didn't happen that quick. I think it opened me up to different things that led me there.
Really?
Darkness, yeah.
Yeah. And what was it like being a crack addict?
You mean a heroin
I
addict?
mean heroin addict. I forgot, wrong color. Wrong drug, wrong color.
What was it like?
Yeah.
It was evil, dark. It was awful.
At the time, did you think of it that way?
At a certain point, yes, I started to think that way, but I was addicted and I couldn't stop.
Amazing. And so what caused you to, and it was because you turned away from God?
I believe so.
Why do you think it's possible to turn away from God once you know God?
Anger.
You were angry? And who were you angry at? Or
Well, I
what?
thought God.
Oh, you're mad at God.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so are you off crack? I mean, heroin?
Of course. Do I look like I'm still shooting heroin?
Let me search your purse. Nice.
Yes, sir. I'm 5 years clean.
Right on. And so are you over the anger?
For the most part, with God, I've learned that it had nothing to do with God.
Right. And so are you over the anger?
It depends. I'm working on it.
And so are you over the anger?
No.
And why not?
I think some of it I hold on to protect myself, probably.
Protect yourself from what?
Oh, Lord. Jesus. To be hurt again.
To protect yourself from being hurt again?
Yeah.
But you always end up getting hurt again.
Yeah.
So the anger is not working.
Correct.
So why don't you drop it then?
That's a good idea.
It's not protecting you.
That's true. You're right.
And so why are you holding on to it?
Probably because I don't know any other way, but I'm learning different ways.
Of what?
Of how to let go of it.
And what's the best way to let go of it?
For me, a relationship with God, when I came back to God.
And you don't have one?
I do now.
And so why have you let the anger go then?
I can pick it back up sometimes.
You can drop it and pick it up?
Uh-huh.
And how do you do that?
I don't know. These are some deep questions, sir. I don't, it just happens. Like,
So you can walk down the road and you feel God, you're all godly.
Yeah.
And then you see a anger walking down the road and you pick it up.
I guess that's what it is, yeah.
Really?
But only if I'm triggered to do that. I'm not just like,
Oh, you have to be triggered?
yeah.
Give me an example of trigger.
Oh, boy. If somebody does something that reminds me of something that happened before.
Yeah.
So something like that.
And so when you pick up the anger, what happened to God? Why now you're serving anger? Where does God go?
Well, he's still there.
Where?
I mean, I feel like, he's not going to leave me, or I'm not leaving him because I'm angry.
But if you're serving anger, how can you not leave him? You can't serve two gods.
Correct.
So how can you serve anger and God?
He's answering for me.
So what now?
He doesn't. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question, actually.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of becoming a whatever else you again?
Heroin addict?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I'm necessarily afraid of it. I have respect for what happened, and I don't dabble with anything that could take me back there.
And
But I wouldn't say I have fear.
You say you would not say, or you would say?
I don't have fear, no.
Of becoming that again.
No, because I feel like I'm protected. I have protection now with God. Yeah.
Really? And so if you were at a heroin party, would you would you just hit it a little bit?
Well, I didn't do it like that, but no, I wouldn't even go there.
But if you were at the party, you wouldn't do it?
Well, I wouldn't put myself in a situation to do that, though.
You wouldn't go to the party?
No.
And why not?
Because I understand the power that it had over me, and I'm not trying to pretend like it didn't happen. and I'm not going to tempt it.
Right.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
what kind of power it has over you?
Not now.
But if you're at the party.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gone to a heroin party.
We're having a... and what? And so, but if you were you wouldn't go because you might hit it.
No, I wouldn't go because
do they snort it or drink it?
I was I shot it.
Oh, you shot it. You wouldn't go because you might shoot up?
No, I wouldn't go because I wouldn't want to be around that darkness ever again.
Is there a possibility if you went, you would want to do it?
Possible.
Oh, okay. So you're not really over it then?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Have you ever thought about that? Nick, put the fan over here for me. Have you ever thought about that? You're not really over it?
Well, I go to a program that tells me that I'll never be over it. So it's been kind of yeah, I've thought about it.
And so the program said you're gonna always be an heroin addict?
Well, I'm in recovery. I'm an addict who's in recovery.
For the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Really? And you believe that?
I mean, my parents were addicts, and they don't do program. They got saved, and they've never done it.
Right.
They've never got relapsed, so
They
have
never
a different.
went to a party. That's why.
they have a different opinion, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I have to.
What is it like being in a program that tells you once a heroin addict, always a heroin addict?
It can be frustrating, I guess, yeah.
Why would you attend a program that tell you that?
Because it saved my life.
But your life not saved. You can't even go. I'm going to invite you to the heroin party tonight. You can't even go.
I hear what you're saying.
What am I saying?
I understand that you're saying that it may not be. Well, I've had doubts if that's the way I want to believe or not. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
But because it's something that I've been doing for a while and it's helped me. But I would say in the last year or so I've been frustrated with it because it's not my higher power. That's not my God.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? And people treat it like it
up
is.
A little bit, Lena. So what now?
People treat it like it is,
Yeah.
and I don't. So there's conflict.
Yeah.
Between me and some people. Does that make sense?
Right. Do you want to go to the party? We're having a major heroin party tonight. at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
We will be serving hors d'oeuvre at 6:30.
No, I will not go.
Other way. I'm sorry?
No.
Do you want to never have a think about that again and you could be at a party and not be affected by it? Do you believe that's
That would be
possible?
great. That would be cool.
Drop your anger.
Okay.
And you would, all those things would disappear.
Okay.
But you got to overcome the anger. Anger is evil. And anyone who has anger is not of God. Satan is your God. Because anger is evil, and there's nothing in life that can happen to you that requires you to be angry. No matter what situation happens, no matter what happened, you are not required to be angry. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Nick. What do you think about that?
I agree.
Yeah. And do you want to drop the anger?
Yes, sir.
You got to forgive your father and mother.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go and forgive them. They screwed you up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I agree.
And why haven't you forgiven them?
I think there are certain things I have, but as a whole, probably not. I'd have to really think about that.
There's no certain thing. Either you forgive or not forgive. You can't certain forgive about the bread being burned. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think with my father, I've forgiven him.
Did you tell him?
No.
And
I
why
think
you
part
think
of it
you
is
have,
part of it is they have not admitted to anything.
And why do they need to?
I think that would give me some I think that would be very healing, actually.
It won't.
No? Okay.
If your parent went over to you and said, I'm sorry, daughter, we screwed you up. We were wrong. If you don't forgive, you still be the same.
Okay.
They'll be free, but you won't. And why haven't you gone to your father and forgiven him?
I don't know.
And I noticed that you're just like your mother. Why haven't you forgiven her?
Sorry. Sorry. Have you met my mom?
You're just like your mother, and you don't want to be. Are you surprised you became like your mother?
No.
But you're just like her.
Probably, yeah.
No, you are.
Yeah.
Why haven't you forgiven her?
I'm sorry.
No problem. Why haven't you forgiven her?
I don't know. I've always thought she was pretty I think because I watched her be my father's wife,
Right.
I always had kind of some empathy for her. So I never blamed her for anything. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Most people don't blame their mother, even though they resent their mothers.
I know. I heard this on one of your things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how will you enter into the kingdom of heaven if you don't forgive?
I don't know. I have no idea. Are you gonna tell me?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
You won't enter in until you forgive. Because anyone that has not forgiven, they have the spirit of evil. They've been controlled by evil. They are evil, and evil cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. You have to go and forgive, because sin is of the heart. It's not your vices, it's your heart. Your heart is wicked. And a wicked heart is of the devil, and that can't enter into the kingdom. And that's what it means to confess your sin, to admit that you have anger and you're wrong. Anger is hatred. Anyone that has hatred play God. And you can't know God long you're playing God. And so if you want to enter in, you got to face your parents and forgive them. They could not help themselves. And you notice how your father couldn't handle your mother, right? With being a preacher, he still couldn't handle your mother. You remember those days? Your mother.
She's not real vocal though. Or
Those are the worst kind. She'd play victim, which would really drive your father crazy. He couldn't handle her. But you got to forgive him for not protecting you from her. And then because in all honesty, you have never been a heroin addict at all. It was never you. What do you think about that?
Elaborate, please.
It was always the God that you were serving, which is Satan, in your mind and emotion. And because you were angry, he played on that, and he caused you to use it by making you think that you would feel better if you got high. And you went and got high, and it only got worse. You would listen to the devil in your thoughts. All thoughts are all lies, and emotions are lies too. So it was never you at all. You're being driven by a different spirit. What do you think about that?
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree.
And so that's why you shouldn't be listening to someone that's telling you you're going to always be an addict. If you have never been an addict, how will you always be an addict?
Word.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Words.
No, I said word.
Yeah.
I know, I like that.
So will you go and forgive your parents?
Yes, I will.
And you got to really see.
Wait, do I have to physically tell them, have to sit with them and tell them?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You got to look them in the eyes and shake in your boots
Okay.
and forgive them. And if they don't admit to anything, that's fine. You're the one suffering because you're an unforgiving person. But you will go free and they'll stay in their hell because they're not happy now. But you got to face them so you can go free. What do you think about that?
I can do that.
So, but don't expect anything from them.
No, I think they're going to look at me like, what is she talking about?
That's fine. They know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Especially your mother. Your mother, a little sneaky one. She's going to pretend, I don't know what you're talking about. I did my best. She did her best to destroy you.
Damn. I'm glad I'm in a good mood right now.
So what?
Nothing, I'm just messing around.
Mothers hate children. Sorry, kids. And mothers screw up children, and she blame it on the father. What do you think about that?
I can see where, yep.
So forgive your parents, and God will forgive you. Then you'll know God.
Okay.
But knowing about God is not knowing God.
Okay.
Any question about that?
No.
Any disagreement?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Any disagreements
Thank you.
about that?
Oh, no.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
And stop calling yourself a heroin addict. You're not that.
Okay.
Because when you call yourself that, you're going to identify as that.
Okay.
And those are evil spirits that you identified as or with.
Okay.
Every time you do it, you're worshiping the devil. Isn't that amazing?
It is.
So don't ever call yourself that again.
Okay.
And the next time you go to a heroin meetings, you stand up and say, look, my name is this, I'm not a heroin, y'all been lying to me. All right? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions at all? No? This is amazing. I want to deal with the biblical question. Who knows what it is? Only one person? Maybe two? You don't know what the biblical question is?
I do when I know what it is because I do know what it is because I pondered it all week and it's so
Okay.
bizarre that I just can't think of it.
Oh, you can't think of it?
Right.
Really? You
Yeah.
really thought about it?
That is so bizarre. I did. I always do. I
She
always
thought about it so serious she forgot.
I know. It's
No,
so
I got it,
bizarre.
yeah.
It's so weird to me.
It's a weird question? Really? Oh, okay. What's the biblical question?
What's up, Jesse? How are you?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. The biblical question is, what's going on in the world today?
And you say?
The same thing that's been going on for the last thousands of years. Just, I call it the human show.
You call it the human show?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a couple other hands. Right here first, since you're already there, and then here. What's going on Earth?
Right, that's the actual question. Just madness. It's actually like Satan's world, and we're just dealing with it and discovering that that's actual fact.
I'm sorry?
Discovering that that is the actual fact of that this is Satan's world that we are living in.
Oh, okay.
So we're not of the world, but in it.
Okay. Yes, sir. I saw your hand, right?
Yeah.
What's going on Earth?
I think that humanity is in the process of waking up.
Waking up?
Waking up.
You think humanity is waking up right now?
I do.
Where?
Everywhere.
Over in Russia?
No, here.
And why do you think they're waking up?
I believe the crazier and the more evil the world gets, it's making people uncomfortable, and it's forcing people to think and reevaluate and have spiritual rebirths and to seek truth. And I think the crazier and more evil the world gets, the more people will wake up.
Oh, okay. Are you waking up?
Yes.
In what way are you waking up?
Always seeking truth, not having anger.
Have you gone and forgiven?
Yes.
You forgive your parents?
Yes.
Nice.
During lockdowns because of you.
Oh, when you had the Chinese virus?
Yeah, I didn't have it, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I see another hand about the biblical question? And you said right here. What's going on Earth?
My only answer to that is business as usual.
Meaning what?
Meaning it's either good over evil or evil over good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. And you thought the question was weird? Did you say that?
No, I
What'd you say?
said that it was bizarre, that I couldn't remember it, even though I, pondered it through the
And
week.
so what's going on Earth?
I would say the obvious answer would be spiritual warfare.
Meaning
That's
what?
what it looks like. It looks like what's wrong. It looks like those things that you would never have imagined would be promoted as being right are, and those things that are wrong. Like we have people in prison, for example, from, well, I don't want to get political, so forget about that. But what's wrong is right and what's right is wrong. That's what it looks like.
That's
It looks
what's
like
going on.
what we read in Scripture is we're seeing it play out.
So you see wrong on Earth, right?
I
When you
see,
say what's wrong is wrong, what's right is right, give me an example of what you mean.
for example, mutilating children,
What's wrong with,
promoting
is
abortion.
that wrong or right?
I believe it's wrong
Why?
because I don't believe that God intended for people to take it upon themselves to reverse their sex or think that they're reversing their gender or sex,
And why is that? Why do you believe that?
because that's not how they were born into the world. And it isn't, it's very egotistical for humans to believe that they have the power to overrule what God has intended. So they came into the world
okay.
as male, they are male. You came into the world as female, you're female.
Amazing.
So
Oh, okay.
that, abortion, a lot of things that are being
So
promoted.
that's what's going on Earth?
Yeah, I feel like I believe people are blinded to the truth, and I don't believe that these people even have malicious intentions, which is why I don't get angry at all.
Right.
I don't get angry. I don't get sad. I'm just observing it. But I do believe that the enemy has literally blinded people. It's like what you say, like even with my the accident that I encountered last week, you've said in the past, you haven't seen anything yet. The enemy is going to come after you. As you pursue God, he's going to come after you. And immediately seeing the car in the condition it was, I mean, a Prius totaled the car. It did like $30,000 worth of damage. So to me, I didn't see it as just a mere accident. I saw that as spiritual warfare. I saw that as the devil wanting to attack me. So
Is there any good on Earth?
I don't think so.
So you never see any good on Earth?
I don't know that if what I'm seeing is good. You know, I don't want to be like a Jesse puppet, but
A what?
a Jesse a Jesse puppet,
What do
like
that mean?
just saying what you say just because you said it. But I do. I know. I feel so reluctant to say things sometimes, even here in this setting, because I feel, and it could, that could be demonic. But I just feel like, oh my gosh, look at her. She's just trying to be the A+ student and say what Jesse wants to hear.
So you're sitting in church and worshiping the devil? Why are you listening to the devil?
I know I shouldn't, but
Why are you doing it then?
because, well, I need to
No,
stop.
that was a question.
Well, because I didn't really realize it until right now in this moment as I'm answering the question. It just sounds like something you would say.
Oh, but it doesn't sound like the truth.
No, it's the truth.
But why does it matter who says it
Because,
if it's the truth?
right,
Did Jesus sound like God when he walked the earth?
he did. Yeah. And I shouldn't even care about whether it sounds like you or
said
not.
were
Who
listening
cares?
to the devil.
I know. That's so true. That I just realized just in that moment. But yeah. What? Would you please say something?
Say something. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What's going on Earth?
Like I said earlier, I just think it's a big show and tell, a bunch of pretend.
Amazing. Okay,
Why you say okay like that?
that was helpful. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. What's going on right here? What's going on Earth? Yes.
Well, this is going to be a little different because I look at the world. I think everything is in divine order, and a judgment, good, bad. I practice not judging.
Nice. And when you say divine order, what do you mean?
I mean that whatever's happening is supposed to be happening.
Meaning what?
I don't know if I can elaborate on that. And if it's not happening, it's not supposed to be happening.
I don't know what that means. And you may be onto something, it's just that I'm black and slow.
Me too.
And I don't know what it means.
Okay, so just example with her car, which is a great example of her being in the moment and practicing what she's learned,
Right.
which is to just be calm. It's not serious. It's not important. But I would take it a little step further. This was years ago, and I was hit by a car while walking.
Nice.
But if you're programmed, the expression is, so most are programmed, and I knew that if I told that story, that I would get a certain response. So I didn't really share that with people that are programmed.
So you believe that everything is happening, should be happening, or supposed to happen?
I don't use the word should.
Suppose. You said suppose, right?
Yeah, supposed.
So she mentioned that kids are getting their body parts cut off. That's supposed to be happening?
Well, well, making a judgment about certain things, I mean, I get it.
Don't make a judgment
the human side of me,
Right.
Of course, no.
So that's not supposed to be happening? Cutting off the body part?
I'm not going to say it's supposed, but I'm just saying there is.
But you said everything that's happening is supposed to be happening.
Okay, let me change that then. Everything is in divine order. Period.
What does that mean?
That's all I can say. I've heard you grill, but that's all I can say about it.
And so the people that are getting their body parts cut off, that's divinely?
I can't elaborate on that. It's actually just trusting.
Distrusting?
Trusting, yes.
Trusting or distrusting?
Trusting, trusting.
Trusting who?
God, the universe, whatever you want to call it,
What
source.
does it mean by divinely supposed to be happening divinely? What does that mean? Maybe I don't understand that.
Okay. Just order then.
What?
Order.
That's order?
At least that's what I believe. That's what I practice.
Oh.
And I realize that we're all different. We are different as our fingerprints. And I just trust and believe that things are playing out for a reason. Whether I understand it,
Right.
whether my ego understands it, whether I like it, whether I would change it. Of course I would change it, but
So if cutting off the body parts are divinely...
why are you keeping with the body parts? The body parts.
It's different than a car accident, you know what I mean? And so if that is so divinely supposed to be happening, why would you want to change it?
I didn't say I would change anything.
Why would you change it? You said
I'm
you
saying the
changed
human
something.
side of me. There's two sides, the ego, and then also the presence and the awareness. So there's two sides.
So the human side of you would change that?
The human side we would look at it and say, that's wrong, yes.
But why would you say that if it's divinely?
Because I'm human. That would be the human side. So I've got two sides.
Oh, and
I
you
know
serve both sides?
and I observe the human side.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
I don't identify with the human side.
And define divinely for me once again, so I gotta move on.
Okay.
Define
Yeah, please
that.
move on. please, somebody move on. Yes.
Define that for me.
Define that?
Divinely happening.
there is a plan that I may not understand or comprehend,
Right.
and so it's just acceptance.
And so do you believe
That's
in,
it. That's all your questions. Next.
So I got one more, just one more.
No.
Since you're so divinely, do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you think God would keep secrets from you?
Well, now you're asking me about God as a human. No, it's not. God keeps secrets.
I'm not asking you about God as a human.
Okay.
I'm just asking about God.
Okay.
So you said there are some things that you can't know.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now.
If you're a child of God, are there things that you cannot know?
Not about knowing, but maybe not understanding.
So as a child of God.
That's it. I'm done. Next.
As a child of God, you're running.
That's right, I'm running. That's right.
Are you
You win.
Are you divinely running?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yes, I am.
Nice. Okay, that was fun. The young man in the hat and then Raymond. Did I see your hand?
Oh, for the biblical question, yeah.
Okay, yeah. What's going on earth?
So just like a lot of your biblical questions, when you first hear it, it doesn't sound significant or important, and that's not a dig. It's just you got to think about it a little bit deeper.
All my biblical question makes sense to me. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
I'm black and slow.
Nice.
So I thought about it a little bit more, and what I realized is what's going on in the world is the same thing that's going on inside of me. The battle between light and darkness that I see in myself, it's the same thing that's going on in the world. It's just the world is a physical manifestation of what's happening inside of me.
Amazing. Okay, Raymond. Thank you. I saw your hand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's going on earth?
Mankind is on a roller coaster ride to oblivion.
That's for sure. Amazing. Okay, well, thank you, Raymond. I guess we can go home now. The young man in the back want to tell us, with the baby.
I didn't have my hand raised.
I'm sorry?
What's the biblical question?
What's going on earth? Yeah, speak right into the mic for me.
What's going on earth? Nothing that we haven't seen before. I think that it's the same thing under the sun time and time again. I don't think there's ever really change. It might be a change in environment, new buildings, new structures, new clothes, but I think it's the same thing that keeps repeating itself time and time again.
And what is that?
Whatever you see.
What is the same thing that's repeated itself?
People cutting off body parts, right?
Have people always cut off body parts?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. They do it in Africa. They slice their faces, tips of their noses, ears, the genitalia, all of that.
They do that in Africa?
Absolutely. Yeah, some tribes.
But that's kind of special in Africa, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's expected on Earth.
Oh, but that's new in America, I think.
Absolutely. America's fairly new, so yeah, I'd say so.
And so you're not surprised because it's been going on all along. Are you from Africa?
No.
Or you just read about it?
Yeah, read. I saw some documentaries.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Amazing. The young lady want to respond. Is this your first time here?
No.
Oh, okay.
We come twice every year.
Nice. What's going on Earth?
Kind of as he was already saying, things that's already been taking place. We're seeing it at a different perspective of where we are now, right? And at my body or his body type of thing. But yeah, it's just the cycles that continue. So.
Nice. Do you obey your husband since last year?
I do.
You obey him now?
I do. I obeyed him last year too, though.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
This young lady in the black want to respond. What's going on Earth?
You know, I think Anthony
How did
said
you
it.
recognize me? You snuck in here in black.
I'm always in black.
She was like, oh, here, I know it was her.
Always in black.
Did you do a smash and grab or something?
In crushed velvet? Okay. So I think Anthony said it really well, and that's what I was thinking. A gentleman over there said the battle of good and evil, light and darkness. I think as you get into or look in yourself and you're constantly looking at yourself, you find that there are moments when you're conscious and there's moments when you're unconscious. So I think that that's the ebb and flow that's happening in this earth, is just people going unconscious and people coming into consciousness, aligning with God and being still.
Okay. Amazing. So, while we're here with you, is this your last, is this the last Sunday?
I will be driving to Atlanta on Wednesday.
She's leaving and going to Georgia.
Yes.
LA proved too much for her.
LA is a lot. LA is a lot.
And so we're going to miss you.
Thank you. I'm going to miss you guys too. This was divine for sure.
And were you helped?
Absolutely.
In what way?
I tell the story. I came here to help a family member that was male. So I heard about Bond. I thought it was going to be just men in a room, and I was going to get some knowledge. And then I came in, and it was you, Jesse. And I had to look at myself from the moment I walked in here. You said that I was a thrill seeker. I literally thought you were losing it. Like, I was like, there's no way he's talking about me. I'm the most, like, stable person except for my emotions. And it just was a constant, it was just a constant looking at myself and just coming back, gently coming back to myself, the self that is not there, but just being conscious of what this is. And the women's meeting, somebody had mentioned to me that I spoke about something really emotional, but I didn't cry. And that was big for me because anybody remembers I would cry every time I came.
We had a deep women's forum this past Thursday. It's the third Thursday of every month. And she's told us some stuff that's really, really makes you want to cry. If not with her, for her. But she didn't cry. You're right. I forgot you didn't cry. I know she boo-hoo on everything.
Go back, you'll see me crying a lot.
Yeah. But you did not cry.
I did not cry. I didn't cry. Yeah.
Even after we put you down, you still didn't cry.
Yeah, it was hot in there. It was really, the heat was on.
It was on. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And I know God brought me here to LA for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I wish you well.
Thank you
over
so
in
much,
Georgia.
Jesse. I appreciate all of this.
And make sure you still pray and keep up with yourself, watch
Yeah.
your fellowship.
Definitely.
So you don't forget.
Yes, and I think I have made some really lifelong friends, if that's real. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you,
So
Jesse.
don't get into what we talked about, but did you think about what we said?
Oh, absolutely. I saw it. It became real. And not to specifically talk about anything that we talked about in the women's meeting,
Right.
but just what we talked about in these meetings, in fellowship. It's interesting when you think there's love in something and then something happens that is different than what is the normal motion, and you go, where did the love go? Where
Yeah.
did the love go? So I actually was able to see that within the last 24 hours.
I knew you would.
I have. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
That's right.
Yeah.
At least now you know.
I do.
You're going with
Consciousness.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. You happy for her? Isn't that amazing? Me too. But I knew. Why are you sad?
Well, not I chose the wrong term. I'm not sad at all, but
Right.
it is bittersweet.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to see something.
Yeah. But I'm thrilled. Yeah, I'm thrilled for Mimi.
I mean, I'm not gonna miss you or anything. No, I'm playing. I will miss you.
Well, Jesse, I will definitely miss your commentary. Like the things that you come out of your mouth do not come out of anybody's mouth. Like the Chinese virus and that kind of stuff. That stuff people don't say. You know what I mean?
It was made in China.
I will miss that because it's your pursuit of truth is it's commendable.
Well, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Thank you, Jesse.
Amazing. Right on. Did I see your hand, sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a question just came up to my head as you were talking. Is it okay to cry though, or be sad a little bit? If I don't know you very well, and there's no reason for me to cry in this moment, but I'm just saying. I was looking up the Bible verse as well. When Lazarus died, Jesus wept because he was sad and felt emotional. So would it be okay to feel sad and cry if you are, for whatever the
Do you
sadness
cry
is?
sometimes?
I don't. I mean, I haven't probably cried in 20 years, if not more.
You haven't cried in 20 years?
Not that I.
Nice.
Probably,
And-
yeah.
But you want to know, is it okay to cry?
Yeah. Is it
What's
an
the
emotion that
purpose
we
of
should
crying?
be? The purpose of crying? I mean, if I'm using the example from Jesus or the story of Lazarus, he felt sad because he knew Lazarus was dead and he couldn't do anything, or he could do something about it afterward because he raised him from the dead. But for some reason, he was sad enough to cry.
And so what's the purpose of crying?
Maybe shed grief or just release the point of grief.
For what purpose?
I guess that's my question. Is it okay?
One
Or is there a
person-
purpose?
One person want to respond, and then I'll respond because I want to close out here. The young lady right here in front of Raymond, he want to know, is it okay to cry?
Well, what I have learnt is that if you feel like you need to cry, you just kind of sit in it and just watch it and let it go by. But I think to be overly emotional and to cry all the time, then no.
So is it okay to cry?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh,
I don't want to say either way because
all that crying you've done?
that's what I'm saying. I used to cry a lot, right? I was like Mimi.
And
But
you
now
haven't cried lately.
No, I don't cry that much anymore.
See? All tears been wiped away.
Yeah.
The
That's what I'm
young-
saying. So when I do cry, it's like a little bit, and then you just keep it going.
Okay. The young lady who right here want to respond, then I will respond. Sitting next to the guy in the black shirt.
Uh-oh.
Is it okay to cry? That was the question, right?
I mean, I'm not saying like the whole deeper emotion.
He doesn't. Yeah, hold on for the mic. Hold on. You're not saying what?
I'm not saying that you have to be super emotional and absorb the emotions and be dramatic or say,
Right.
but in the example of this story, and I'm just thinking about if somebody passed away in your life, in that moment, in that instance, can you cry and get done with it and be good?
Okay.
Is that okay or not okay? Per
Is
se?
it okay to cry?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, it's okay to cry, I believe, but not like situational crying. Like if your mother passes away, I
You should
cried.
cry over that?
I cried.
You should cry if your mother died.
Well, she passed away in 2015, and I cried.
And you cried?
Yes.
Why?
I lost someone that was important to me.
Oh. And then you laughed afterward? Like,
Um,
I'm glad she's gone.
no.
Oh. So it is okay to cry?
At certain times, yeah.
Like when? We know about mama. Is there another time?
if I feel like it can be like a stress relief.
A stress relief?
It could be, or like a release.
Oh, okay. Have you ever cried over a man leaving?
In the past, I suppose I have, but not.
And why did you cry over him leaving?
I don't, well, things occurred that it was kind of okay. It's all time to move on. But it's just sad. It's like an ending of something.
Why weren't you glad to see him go?
I wasn't glad.
Why not?
Necessarily.
Why not?
I think probably I have like a hard time of seeing final endings of things.
But that was the end. He was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, you can accept
But they
it.
always want to come back, and then that's a problem.
Do you let them back?
No.
Oh,
not.
good.
No.
Amazing. So to answer your, thank you. That was a big help. No, I'm playing. When Jesus cried, he only cried because the people were blind and couldn't see. Because had they been able to see, they could have healed the man themselves. But they didn't. They had no insight. And so that's why Jesus cried. He didn't cry like human cry. He just realized that they could not see, but it wasn't emotional tears. You know what I mean? That makes sense? I can't hear him. He's relaxed up beside the wall. Unconscious.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because it's literally the verse before they say, we just laid him to rest, and then it says Jesus wept at that point. It doesn't say he was sad or he was emotional. It just says he wept at that
Because people couldn't see.
information.
And and I want to add to what the young lady said over there, but only reason people cry for the most part is for the thrill. They're not crying because they love you. They're not crying because mama died. They're crying because it feels good to cry. It's a thrill. But the devil would tell them that they're crying because mama died or because daddy died, but it's not, right? Because as soon as the body's in the grave, they're going back to have some chicken and rice and cornbread, and they're going back to fighting one another, and they forgot about the parents, right? It was just a thrill. And then when they think about it, they get mad that the parent did. So it's just up and down thrill. It's not real. But they're, like what the young lady said over there, you don't plan to cry or not to cry. If the tears come, let them come and let them pass. But don't identify with the tears. Don't think of yourself, oh, I'm such a loving person. I cried over mama, or I cried over this, right? Don't get a thrill from it, and then it'll be fine. That make sense? I'm sorry?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. One last thing. This young man did I see your hand, Nick? Okay, this young man want to respond to what's going on Earth.
Well, Earth is pretty messed up. I think it's completely cooked. Yeah, I think just that it's getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And I hear you say this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the direction. It's kind of like, you know, I guess somebody mentioned the mutilations of children, and like this has kind of happened in Rome, like when they were at their peak and they were getting all hedonistic, you know, transgenderism started to appear. So it seems like maybe
they took the body parts off kids during those days.
Yeah, they did it
Rome?
off the young boys. Yeah, they would do that as well.
Rome with white people.
Yeah, yeah.
White people do some bad stuff.
Yeah, Nero married a young boy. So yeah, it could be a societal like ebbs and flows of society. Like once it reaches this like sort of peak, and then it just gets all like very evil, and then this society collapses and resets, something like that, maybe. But yeah, I think it's getting worse.
So are you getting better?
Yeah.
In what way?
Just the issues of life. You know, and I know you guys are talking about like the Bond answer, but just I've been listening to you a long time, and I agree with pretty much everything you say. And yeah, it's just like life is becoming easy. Like, for example, this morning I took a flight from Miami to get here, and I had a rental car that I parked right outside. And as I go out to go to the car's gone. So it got towed away. and
Nice.
Yeah. So I got towed away. Well, it's my fault because I thought I would have enough time, but the parking was too long there.
Yeah.
But instead of overreacting, I just like, oh, okay. Let me just call the number to get it fixed. I talked to a guy from the towing company, and he said, oh, yeah, don't worry, Enterprise will deal with it now. It's their property.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to drop it off at the airport now. I'm like, oh, really? He's like,
Right
yeah,
on.
don't worry about it.
Nice.
So I just didn't even overreact. I didn't get stressed out. And
So do you ever get angry?
no.
Good. Right on. Amazing. Yeah. Well, welcome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
There is no, I understand what you mean by the bond answer, but there's no bond answer. It's either the truth or not. It's not my answer. It's God's answer, whether it's true or not. Nick, I saw your hand.
Yeah.
And then Colin wanted the last word about
All right.
this. Yes.
Biblical question. What's going on Earth?
Yeah.
I just want to add to what people are saying. That I was thinking about how what's going on Earth is what's going on inside of me. But it's all, just to add to that, it's what's going on in this very room. It's so interesting to see Danielle looking at you, and then you're staring at her. And
Who
then
is Danielle?
She's up there.
Oh, the black lady.
Yeah. And she's looking at you and staring at you, and then silence. I knew she was going to say what. I knew she was going to say what because I knew what Satan was saying in her head. It's the same thing he says in my head.
Like what?
Like he's looking at you, or why is he looking at you like that? Or what's he mean? And it's what's going on in this room. It's what the lady over there was going through.
And so
in
what's
our
going
minds.
on in the world is what?
It's what's going on here. Satan, and literally Satan in our minds. And she's right, by the way, about things being ordered, just not divinely. It's satanically ordered. And it's not that it's like, it is supposed to happen, even the mutilation and all that, but not, when I say that, I'm not thinking like I know what God wrote in the book, what's going to happen. I'm just saying it's what has to happen when the hearts are wicked.
Okay.
It's supposed to happen.
Amazing. Yes, the young lady.
Thank you. To add on to what Nick was talking about, and also what my dad said earlier about what's going on in the world is going on inside of you,
yes.
the same sort of issues. Earlier this week, something happened that was great for me, and I remember naturally going, great. And then immediately a thought came in my mind that said, it's not going to make your life better, you know? And instantly I thought I would never think that. And that's just an example for me because I was conscious, you know, I caught it, but, you know, I can think back to a time in where I would probably like think about my worries or life and the bad things, you know, it takes me down a train of like, almost like a little bit of sadness, you know? But I thought that was really deep, and I caught it, and then I let it go, and it was just nothing. So it was great.
I thought of you this week. I wonder how you were doing. You're hearing all this information at such a young age, and I was thinking about how if you stay with it, all the hell that you're going to avoid.
Thank you.
You know, you have no idea. And
Thank
because you're going to avoid it, you're not going to know what you could have gone through. What a mess, so stay with it.
Thank you.
Especially being young like this. All right? Colin, you have the last word on what's going on Earth.
It seems to be an opportunity to choose to return to the Father is what it seems to be. It seems to be like you have all these options to play around in your own illusionary self and just try to be fulfilled, and ultimately whether you want to come back to peace or not.
Okay.
It seems to be like that's what the world is. Maximum opportunity, actually.
Mess. Thank you, man.
A mess?
I know, I'm saying the mess going on. Yeah. No, not
I
you,
don't know.
man.
I don't know. That's my best guess.
Okay. And you're all right, I'm adding to what's been said. But I do want you to know, and without a doubt, it's going to get worse before it gets better. It really is. Evil is roaming the earth in ways I've never seen before. As you guys have said, not the first time, of course. Ever since human beings been on earth, have been evil. But evil is working right now. And what has happened is like, in America, I'll talk about America. America has been set up for evil to overtake it. It really has. And I see it, I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. But it's been set up for evil to rule, and it keep getting set up to rule. And I'm not promoting political parties here today. It's not about politics. But with those two conventions that happened, the Democrats and the Republicans, it was a setup. It was all emotional. There was no answers to any problems, but it felt good. And they push emotions because emotions are of the devil. And there is no reason for emotions, zero reason for emotions. God is a dispassionate God. Satan is a passionate God. He is all about emotions. If he can get you to feel something, good or bad, what they call good or bad, he has you. But if he can't make you feel anything, he doesn't have you. He has to get a reaction. Even when men and women fight, whether boyfriend, girlfriend, relationship, work relationships, or whatever, the fight is all about getting one person to overreact. And whomever can get the one person to overreact, they got you. They can convince you of anything then. They can make you do anything then. They can make you feel what they want you to feel because you have overreacted. You've given it to evil, and that's what evil does. And it's just, you're right about the body parts and all that. But this is what evil does. What some of you are starting to realize is that Satan hates you. He has no love for mankind, men or women. He hates you with a core. And the reason that he hates you is because Satan has been thrown, there was a war between God and Satan was thrown out of heaven. Remember that war? Y'all heard about that? And Satan was thrown out of heaven. But when Satan was thrown out, he had no connection to God. No love, no insight, no way back. He cannot get anything from God at all. He was totally disassociated with God, so that left him with pure evil, emptiness, false feelings, and he hated that. And Satan cannot even get back into heaven. He can't enter into the kingdom of heaven, but you can if you want to. And Satan knows that you, the sons and daughters of God, can enter back into the kingdom, and he and all his little demons are working overtime to prevent you from entering back in. He's working. You don't know the depths of how evil you are yet. Some of you think you're nice evil. So evil. I'm only evil when I get mad. I'm only evil when things doesn't. No, you're evil. You don't know the depths of evil yet in you, because Satan works through human beings. And because you're not paying close attention, and I can tell because when y'all come to the meeting, you don't have any questions, no nothing. You look like you have something to say, right? You had a week, you had something happen, at least between you and the devil. But you got to pay close attention to what's happening in you. The devil is working in you, and you're not catching it. You got to catch it, and you can catch it with the light. God has given you a little light, and that little light, the more you catch the darkness that operates through you, it'll get brighter and brighter and brighter, to the point that eventually Satan and all his little demons will leave. They will have to depart from you because they can't handle the light of God, but you're not paying attention to what's happening in you. You're not paying close attention to it. I give you instruction, you don't do it. I say, do the silent prayer. Oh, okay. Did you do the silent prayer? Do you do it every morning and night? Some people lie, and then I keep asking, well, not every morning. You don't even follow instructions. I'm telling you how to be still and let God take you over, and he will. He will truly take you over. Really, but you won't be still and let him. You're constantly reacting to the devil. The devil giving you thoughts day and night. Some of them you say you catch them, but most of them you don't. And the reason you don't, because you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention to the light that's right ahead of you. You're not catching it. You got to pay attention to you. And you're going to be stunned at how evil. There's nothing nice about anybody in this room. Sorry. And niceness is not love anyway. Niceness is a weakness covering it up, pretending to be love. You're hiding. You're being nice because you're trying to get away with something. You're being nice because you want something. But if you don't get it, you turn nasty just like that. Especially if you know the person have it and they won't give it to you, you snap. That same nice person would turn cold just like that. Satan is, and I saw your hand, right? I'll come to you, don't forget. Satan is setting this up in a way that you don't even imagine because you're not paying attention. You gotta pay attention to evil, but you gotta pay attention to you first. You're evil. And when you don't pay attention to yourself, you are made in agreement with the devil. That you and I are one devil. You made an agreement because you're not paying attention. You have agreed. And so the devil is miserable. And the way that he stays that way, he and all his little demons, by making you miserable. When he can make you feel sad, when he can make you cry, when he can make you be afraid, when he can make you feel lonely or sadness or judge somebody or judge yourself. He's making you feel that way because that's how he feels. And when he can make you feel that way, he get more life from it. He get life from making you feel miserable. Here you are suffering and feeling horrible. You wonder, why am I feeling so bad? I need this. But you're listening to the devil. You're taking on his identity. And that's why you're feeling that way. And the devil rejoices. Because he's making you feel a certain kind of way. But then he'll make you lie to yourself and make you say, well, I'm mad because my husband don't love me. I'm mad because my wife don't love me. Or I'm mad because my kids haven't called. He'll make you lie as to why you're mad. He won't let you see that you're angry because he just deceived you and you believed it. He'll make you think it's something else. It's because of this or that, and it's not that at all. But you'll lie. You'll make up lies. Have you ever seen yourself make up lies? I'm mad because I didn't get the business deal. That's not why you're mad. You're mad because you listen to the devil. A business deal is just a business deal. It's not a big deal. But the devil tell you that it is, and you believe it, you say you're mad. I lost the deal. You're worshiping the devil and not knowing. The devil is controlling you with all your thoughts and feelings. None of them are from God, and none of them are from you. But because you say they are, you think they are from you. I'm mad because my husband don't love me. He used to treat me a certain way. When I first met him, he brought me flowers. He did this. He showed up from work on time, and now he doesn't show up on time. And he never brings. And I'm mad because of it. That's not why you're mad. You're mad because you believed a lie from the devil and you identify with it. Now you have the emotions, which are all ego, which is it's the nature of the devil. Your husband don't bring you flowers, and why you need flowers? And he only brought flowers because he wanted something from you that night. It's not like he cared about the flower, nor you. Really. And then if you don't do what he needs you to do that night, he gonna take those flowers and cuss you out. And he probably bought some cheap flowers on the corner by the freeway from the Mexican. And those flowers died the next morning anyway. You're evil. There's nothing good in you at all. And you're gonna have to die from it. From evil. And the only way you're gonna die from it, you gotta keep closed eyes on self. You cannot afford to look away. And I mentioned earlier, there's never, ever, ever, I promise you, there's never a time to be angry at anyone. No such thing as somebody can make you mad. The only reason someone is making you angry is because they're evil too. They've been hurt. And everybody in the world been hurt. Everybody been hurt. And they're hurt, and they're trying to hurt you because they're hurt. And if you understood why they were hurt, you would get mad at them because you would understand. But the only reason you get mad because you're still hurt. Your ego is being bothered. Otherwise, you would never judge your enemy. You would even, and I promise you this, you would even lay your weapon down and never argue with another person. There would be no need for argument. It would vanish. When people argue, all you have are two devils arguing with each other, and both of them are trying to win. All human beings in that fallen state love power. Everybody want to win. You want to win. And the reason you want to win because you're evil. Sorry. You want to win. Our government want to win. And they gather together and they plan because they too worship the devil. They get their orders from the devil as to how they can win. They worship the devil. And they love power and they love trying to win. And so they get together and they think, well, how can we win the masses of people right now? We need a little money. We want to stay in power. They come up with a disease. Or they tell you that the old disease is coming back. Put your mask on. And you do it. Because the masses of people are evil too. And they have fear. And when you have fear, you can be controlled. If you have fear, you can be controlled. God does not give you a spirit of fear. Fear is of the devil. And there's no such thing about anger. I need anger to protect me. When you have anger, you're open to be knocked down. Anger does not protect you. It's not your friend. It's your enemy. But the world tells you that anger protects you. I got to fight back with something. I need to be angry to fight back. No, you don't. If you want to win, stop trying to win. Lay down trying to win and you will never lose. Don't think of winning or losing. Just live your life. Don't try to win anything. Don't try to win. When a husband leaves his wife, first thing she does, she gets angry, and now she's plotting and trying to get him back. She doesn't really want him, but her misery is leaving, and she wants her misery back. She needs to judge him so she can feel better, but feeling better is feeling bad. Don't fight. There's no reason to fight. You've been lied to. There's not a... You're going to fight over your reputation? What reputation? Nobody think highly of you anyway. When someone tells you, oh, I think so highly of you, well, they're saying, I want something from you. And if you don't give it to them, the highly go down. You got to see this nature inside of you. Everyone must be born again, but you must return to the Father. And then I'm going to take these hands because of time. They're setting us up by putting women in charge of men. And it's happening everywhere. The order is God in Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, women over children. That order come above. But they're setting it up where men are no longer over women. And the men fall for it. They're afraid, oh, I don't want to sound like a woman hater or something they say. They're falling for the lie. They're making, and the Christians are doing this, the secular people are doing this, the Allahu Akbar people are doing this. Sorry. All religions are doing this because the answer is not religion. The answer is to be born again. They're suffering over in Muslim countries. The women are complaining, the people are hungry. They want a new leader. And a lot of them are looking for Christianity now because they're starving poverty everywhere. The women are not happy. And the so-called leadership, they're up there well-fed, beautiful gowns. And the people starving. Your leader is inside of you. Let no man teach you. Let no one lead you. We have the teacher. We have the leader inside. But you got to die from you got to die from your religion. You got to die from what you think is good. We don't even know what good is. We don't know what it is. Yeah, I was talking to Omid, my PR guy, and he was telling me yesterday, man, I've been taught everything wrong. Everything I thought was right is wrong. I didn't know it until now. He's going through a lot, but not to tell him business, but he got to re-teach himself. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not just incorrect, but like the opposite of truth, which is a depth of evil that I never expected out of life.
And he was like, I was the smartest guy in the class. I was like, all A's. And you can tell he was. But now he got to relearn everything, the truth. You don't even understand relationships. Relationships is not what you're saying they are. You should not ever work at a relationship. The man should not work to try to make it happen, nor the women should not work to make a relationship happen. If it's not, and the reason it's not happening is because it's not the gift from God. It's the gift from Satan. And now that you've gotten this gift from Satan, you try to make this gift work, and it never will work. There's not enough you can do to make it work. You're evil. And stop lying to yourself and face it. Just face the evil, and it ain't going to be pretty. I'm telling you that right now. Get ready. That's why some people don't want to face it. It's too hard. It's too hard. Yes, sir.
When you're saying face it, what do you mean by face it?
I'm going to tell you that in a minute. And then we're going to close it out with facing it. And I want you to know, too, that you can't save yourself. There's nothing in your own power that you can do to save yourself at all. Zero. So stop trying. You can't save yourself. You could cry all night to God. You could beg all day to God. You could read the Bible until the cows come home and go back and then come home again. You still won't be saved. You can quote the scriptures and hallelujah and praise God and cry until the cows come home. You still won't be saved. And I'll tell you in a minute how it happens. But you won't be. It hasn't worked so far. You're still miserable. Look how many times you cried out to God for things. God, please save me. Please get rid of this or that. And you still, God, like, what the? And I'm going to tell you why that is in a minute. But I saw this young lady first, and this young lady. Okay. Yes.
Just a quick thought. So I've heard you say on the radio show and at church quite a lot that a lot of people ain't going to make it.
Right.
Because it's just so hard. And I think that's really resonated with me the last month about going through this journey and like how difficult it is and how everybody's pain and hell is different. But I didn't realize like how hard it was going to be. And also like in the last couple of weeks of just letting go of trying to control anything and sitting in everything. And then lastly, that absolutely everything is in me. Like, you know, I hear you say certain things, but like, I'm like, oh, that's true. But like knowing it for yourself is completely different.
That is such a good point. It's not enough to think about this. You want to know it. You want to know it. You don't just want to think about it. Matter of fact, you want to let think about it go. And you want to know it. It's like Joel Friday, he black. He didn't know Arkansas was Arkansas. Where's Joel? Tell me, come here. He thought Arkansas was Arkansas. He black. He's not here? Oh, okay. But once he realized Arkansas was not Arkansas, because he was trying to spell it Arkansas. I'm like, and James is like, no, that's not it, buddy. But once he knew it was Arkansas, he now know. And once you know, you cannot unknow. You want to live by knowing, not by thinking about it. You got to drop thinking about it. You want to know, and you can know. So you're absolutely right about that. But go ahead.
And I think lastly, I found for myself in going through, especially the last couple of weeks, just really looking at myself, that if I can constantly remain present, and it's hard because you drift off about, I got to do this, got to do that, whatever. Or you think about the past and you find yourself in the future and you bring yourself back, that I find that a lot of the challenges in life with just the busyness of life or relationships and different things like that, if I can just remain present, then my reactions are just so much better.
Absolutely.
And I think my last question to you was, you know, I forgave my mum and my dad quite a while back. And my anger back when I first met you is obviously completely different to how I am now. But I had a question, I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but like, is it possible to still have some anger remaining even though I've forgiven?
No.
Okay, so how do I work through that?
To know that that's not your anger.
Okay.
It's not you at all. That's another false identity that the spirit of evil. So here's what happened. Like, these are thoughts. Oh, there he is. Were you sleeping or something? You weren't sleeping? No, I was listening. What? I was in the back, I was listening. Oh, okay. That's our Kansas. And he wanted to be a radio talk show host. Can't even find his way to Arkansas because he's looking for Arkansas. What?
I don't know if you guys seen the movie. I think it's the one with the Cowboys and Denzel Washington's in it. Something about Crazy 8 or something. And in the movie, he said Arkansas, and I felt so good because it's a real thing.
Amazing. But I was saying, once you realize it was Arkansas, you don't need to think about it anymore because now you know.
How do you know for sure?
That's right. I listen to white people. They said it the right way. Is Hassan here? Tell Hassan to come here. So, did I ask you a question?
Anger. You were saying about letting it go.
These are thoughts. And everybody lives in their thoughts, right? So thoughts come, and it's an empty thought at first. And so this starts traveling through here, traveling. If you were to just watch it traveling, it would just pass by. It would have no meaning. It would just be an empty thought. But what happens, the thoughts are coming, and then because you're not catching it, it drops into an emotion. It falls into an emotion. And when it falls into an emotion, you start to believe that you are the emotion. And you overreact, and one thing leads to another. And so that's why you need to stay present so you can catch these thoughts just coming. They're just thoughts. But because you're not catching them here, they fall into emotions, you start to believe they're real. So they're not you at all. They are the spirit of evil. But you feel the pain, so it feels like it's you. You know, you want to cry, or you want to get afraid, become afraid. You want to this, because it's just a thought that came from the emotion that you did not catch, which is evil. That's why another reason to stay present. And it'll just come a thought then. It has no meaning.
And lastly, you know how you always ask in the beginning, but we was a few minutes late. Did you have a life this week or so? And kind of came to a big end of a big chapter, and actually became a citizen this Tuesday.
You did?
I'm an American citizen.
Congratulations. Amazing. So now you can get rid of your husband.
I guess, yeah.
Nice. So when he act wrong, just show him. Okay.
I got the flag and everything.
Act like you want to act. I can leave now. But
I
congratulations.
didn't think about
that's
that,
cool.
but yeah, I guess that's true.
Right on. That is so nice. Very cool. That's Hassan.
Hello.
He thought today was strawberry vanilla day. What do you think about the thought thing? Hassan and his dog.
Yeah, the thoughts are something else for sure.
Yeah.
It runs deeper than we can even think.
I'm telling you, you don't want to be a thinker. God is a knowing God, not a thinking God. Satan is a thinking God. And you only need thoughts when you're building a house, or you're going to make dinner, or you want to go on a vacation, or you want to, to function on earth in a material way. That's the only way you need thoughts. But you want to know. You want to live a knowing life, not a thinking life. So just watch, as you put it perfectly, watch those thoughts. If you catch them, you're not going to feel anything. You're only going to feel when you don't catch the thoughts. And that's from evil too. Yes.
Well, when you were talking, I was thinking about one time it was hard for me to connect that about Satan and all his lies until Christy's husband had asked you one time, why does it seem like Satan has so much power? And I thought that. I was like, how is he able to just run amok on earth? And your answer to that was that he doesn't have power. It's false power. He only can deceive.
Yes.
And so it's not real. It's his only power is to deceive. But my question is, so is there any power on earth that is not evil?
The only true power is the power of God, and that's inside of us. There's no other power.
Okay.
No real power. Okay. Nowhere. Once you get a hold of this and you start staying present and watching yourself, human beings would never be able to affect you again either, with threats and fears and nowhere. Because all of your fears are inside of you. It's not outside of you at all. So the government can threaten you. You won't be bothered by it. Because you would not have the fear inside of you. So if you don't have the fear, how can you be threatened? That's why I tell husbands and wives that they got to stop needing each other. So if one want to leave, whether it's the husband or the wife, you don't need him or her because you're free, right, already. And so if they want to leave, you're like, okay, bye. And the wife like, I'm going to take the children. You can have these kids. And you're not going to be sitting around crying, oh, I'm losing my children. I'm going to court. I'm going to get me a lawyer. You're not going to do any of that because you're not attached to the children. You're not attached to anything. You're not getting any identity from anything or anyone. And God will cause that to happen. He said to be in the world but not of it. He will cause you to overcome the world and only identify with the kingdom of heaven inside. He and he alone can make you that way. There is no other real power at all. Zero.
That's funny that you say that because it actually reminded me of when I first came. I don't know if you remember, but I couldn't get over the fact that I thought that I would just like fly away if I didn't have all the things that were inside of me.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I want to have nothing. I want to be empty. But a year ago, it was too much for me to take in. So it's a journey. It's a process for sure.
And take it on if it takes a lifetime.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how long it's going to take, how painful it is, how long it's going to take. Because the devil would tell you, oh, this is so painful. How long is this going to last? This is too much. How long? I've been doing this for years now. How long is it going to last? And you think that that's you telling you that. And you're like, and then you get all sad, and this is too hard. And the devil will tell you, well, give up. Let go. And you let go thinking that is you telling you that, but that's the devil. There's no you. There is no you.
Okay.
So a lifetime.
Okay. Thank you.
Amazing. I saw this hair. Did I see your hair?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. But you wanted to say what?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I agree with everything that's been said thus far.
Because of time, I want to tell you how to. What was the question? How do you do it? How do you face it? There's no way around this for every man and woman. There's no way around it. You got to become helpless and hopeless completely. You got to become helpless and hopeless completely. And when you do that, all of those little things that are attached to ego will be taken, it will die. You gotta let yourself feel helpless. You gotta let yourself feel hopeless. You know, people say, I feel like there's no hope. That's a perfect feeling. I feel helpless. But the doctors and the psychiatrists and the experts tell you don't want to feel hopeless. Here's a pill. You don't want to feel hopeless. Here's a friend. You don't want to feel hopeless. Here's some, what's that stuff you took? Heroin. Heroin. And if you're black, they tell you don't want to feel hopeless. Here's some crack. You do want to feel hopeless. You do want to feel helpless and reach out for nothing. And if you boo-hoo while feeling that way, because it's not a pretty feeling, let yourself feel it. Don't reach out to anyone or anything to save you from the feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. And the light will come in and save you from it. Because the ego will die. It's the devil's nature, it's evil. Don't look for love to feel better. Don't look for anything. And that's the hardest thing for the average person to let themselves feel is hopelessness. You fight not to feel hopelessness. And in fighting not to feel that way, you're keeping evil alive in you. You gotta feel it. You gotta be lonely. You gotta hang around by yourself. You gotta be by yourself. And not make a phone call. Not the devil tell you, oh, I bet they're having a good party over there. And you want to go to that party. You remember how good that party was, right? Don't go. You got to feel helpless. You got to feel it. And if doctor give you your pills, I'm not telling you medical thing, but you got to take the pain instead of running from it and let the light save you. That's the only way you're going to do it. Because otherwise, you're reaching out to the devil. Any other thing that you're reaching out for is evil. Amazing. What do you think about that? Any questions about that? You got to feel it. When the last time you allowed yourself to truly feel hopelessness or helplessness? You won't let it happen. It'll come close to you and you're knocking, I can't do this. This is too painful. And that's the devil that's telling you that it's too painful. It's not even you telling you that it's too painful. The devil's saying it's too painful. You know why he's saying that? Because he and all his little demons are about to depart from your home, from you. And the devil got to live in human beings. All human beings are evil. There's not one that's not evil. The human nature is evil. There's another nature. That nature is the nature of God. And once you let this old nature die, you will receive the nature of God. And that's paradise. That's everlasting life. That's peace, is everything. Okay, now I see a couple hands, and I can take them real fast. Hake.
It's funny hearing you say that all human beings are evil, and I know that, but it's funny too because when I'm mad at somebody, it's like a self-righteous mad. Like I want to point out how evil they are.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm surprised that they're evil. Like like I'm blaming them for being evil.
Yeah.
When I'm not, and I'm doing it to hurt them, because to try to get back at them.
That's what all human beings do. They're evil, so they're trying to win. You're trying to win. You're trying to feel better by getting back at them. You don't even know a human being that's not evil. Isn't that amazing? So let me do this really fast because of time. I got 3 people that I want to respond to hear the response to what I've just said about helplessness and hopelessness and how you've been helped. Let me go to Allahu Akbar first. When you think about what I just said.
I completely agree with you. Sometimes if I feel hopeless, or I would pick up the phone and call somebody and just talk to them. That's the ego in me. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. But now you got to let yourself feel it.
I will.
And don't
just face it.
Just face, and the devil going to give you things to do. Oh, make a phone call. And then you call up this person, you wonder, why did I even call this person? That wasn't a nice conversation at all. That didn't help me. But you're right. Have you ever, so you have felt that feeling of hopelessness, right?
Multiple
And
times.
helplessness.
Yeah.
And did you didn't know you're not supposed to do anything about it?
I didn't know what to do.
I'm sorry?
I didn't know what to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. People don't know what to do with that. And so they run and spend thousands of dollars to a dumb psychiatrist or therapist. And the therapist not knowing what to do with it either. They say, here's a pill. You just need to feel better. Make it until whatever, right? And it doesn't help at all. And then one day you forget to take your pill. Now you go out and shoot up everybody.
Yep.
Because you haven't dealt with that. And it's still there.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Nice. Any question about any of this?
Not at the moment.
Was this helpful?
Excellent. Yes.
Nice. Thank you,
Thank
man. See, I like Allahu Akbar people. Tell your people I love them. Yes, sir. Any questions about, does that help a little bit? What do you get from that?
I feel like I've never thought about that before.
You never thought about it?
About the helplessness?
Yes.
Yeah, I just never really gave it any thought.
And your parents should have told you about this. The preacher should have told you about this, but everybody lost, and they all lost. They can't tell you because they won't let the ego die. So they don't know. They run from it too, and that's the problem. Everybody, and the psychiatrists, they're running from it. Nobody want to feel because they think that is them. Yeah. It's not you. That hopeless, helpless feeling you feel is not you. That's evil. Is who is afraid that made a home in you. It got to depart from you, and it knows the light is working here, and it doesn't want to die. It's not even you. The real you don't feel that. The fake you do. It's not even you. So will you give it a try now?
Yeah.
Nice. Any questions about that?
Not necessarily to that, but maybe to what Hake was mentioning when he was talking about that he wanted to call someone out and say that that person is evil.
Yes.
But he didn't want to hurt them.
Yes.
Is it okay to do it when you identify evil, but you don't want to judge them or anything, but you just want to call it out? Would that be necessary? Maybe.
Do not plan anything to call it out or not to call it out, right? The Father will speak through you when needed, when necessary. And he will give you the right word to say to the right person at the right time.
Okay.
But don't plan in your head, oh, I see evil in you. You're just evil. You're trying to make them feel bad.
Okay.
And make yourself feel better. So don't judge them. But the Father will control you, just as evil been controlling your tongue, your head, your feeling. The Father will do the same thing, but it'll be of the truth. So don't plan to do it or not do it.
Yeah, as long as there's no thought and I just know that person is evil, I can call it out. As long as I don't plan and try to make it.
That's right.
I got it.
Absolutely. Because I know some husbands who think they have it. Every time their wives say something or do a little thing, they say, you evil. And they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They just say it because they heard me say it or blah, 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 right?
Right.
And so you have them, they do that to their wives. And some wives do it to husbands too.
Yeah.
And that's judgment. That's judgment. Because if you had love for them, you would be able to be patient and let them see it for themselves. By you not overreacting and they're carrying on, they'll take them over. Oh, I try to make my wife or my husband feel something. They didn't overreact. Let me burn the bread. And see if I can get an overreaction, right?
Yeah.
But they'll see it for themselves. But sometimes there is a need to call it out.
Yeah.
But the light will guide you in doing that.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think about all this?
I think it makes perfect sense. I went through a lot growing up, and there was times where I was helpless and hopeless, and I think it only made me stronger, and I never thought about that until now when you said it. It brought back like the times that I was in that situation, and it just makes me realize like it was a blessing in disguise that I never realized till now, being at this age.
You want to feel hopeless. You want to feel helpless. That's your salvation, really. But the world have told you, even the church will tell you, you don't want to be hopeless, you need Jesus. You don't know what that means. Well, I already asked Jesus. How many times you prayed to Jesus and Jesus just laughed? You're like, what the? Going down to the front of the church and accepting Jesus ain't gonna do it. Reading the Bible and learning scriptures ain't gonna do it. Reading books, not gonna do it. Though you can read books, but you're not gonna die until you let this thing happen. You gotta let it happen. You gotta let go. Yep. You can't save yourself at all. Any questions about anything? Any disagreements or anything?
No, I just think, like I said, like I never thought about it. I was at a younger age, but then now, like going throughout the years, I think I naturally like accepted it versus without even knowing it. So until now, so I think that makes total sense.
Right on. Yep. Well, stay with it. Stay with it.
Yeah, thank you.
Really, stay with it. Amazing. What do you think about this hopeless thing? And then I got it in it.
I think it's profound in that right before I met you, I've always been, I'm not bragging, but because it's actually demonic, but I've always been like super popular, always a full social calendar. But right before I came here, through a series of events, I found myself alone. And it was I've never felt like suicidal or depressed, but I remember the day that I thought, why am I even here on the planet? I wish I could just go to heaven. And then I met you, and it's exactly, my point is that moment, and it was a long moment, it was like a 2-year moment, was exactly what I needed to prepare myself for this time.
Yeah.
So,
amazing.
yeah,
Well,
I agree.
Stay with it.
I plan to.
One thing I want you to know, too, if you lay your weapons down, just give it just a try. Never argue again with anyone about anything. That alone will make you free. I'm telling you. You don't need to fight. What are you fighting for? You can't save yourself anyway. And again, it's just two devils fighting. And the devil wants you to fight. He wants you to fight with him in your mind, and he wants you to fight with him inside of other people. He wants you fighting. So give it a try and just don't fight and don't argue. And the devil's going to say, oh, you look weak. They calling you names and you're not responding. You look weak. That's the devil telling you that. Don't argue. Really, just stop the arguing. Give it a good try. It's amazing. Just lay your weapon down. God said if you hold your peace and let me fight your battle, the victory shall be yours. Something like that. Y'all ever heard that before? Hold your peace. There's nothing to, if there's no you, what is there to protect? And you shouldn't be thinking about what other people are thinking about you anyway. If you're thinking about what other people are thinking about you, then you're crazy. You got the problem. You had your hand. Yes, go ahead.
Well, you say that real quick. All humans are evil.
Yes.
Have you been saved?
Don't ask that question.
Okay. Gotcha.
The devil wants you to ask me that.
I'm not trying to.
No, not you. Don't worry about it. It's a nice question. But I don't want to respond to that because I don't want the devil to give you any idea about is just a save or what is salvation
Fair.
or what is that.
Is then someone who has been saved no longer evil? You say all humans are evil.
Once you are saved by the light, no more evil is in you.
So therefore, not all humans are evil at that point because there's saved
You
humans.
met one?
Maybe.
Where?
They come and go. You wouldn't know.
There are people, to answer your question, there are people who are working on themselves, and they are overcoming evil.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know some.
Yeah.
I literally know some. But I don't want the devil to give you an idea of what salvation is at all.
Yep.
And so that he can't play with you with that.
Fair.
But there are people who are working on it, sir.
Cool.
Right on.
Thank you.
And once you are back with the Father, you have no doubt about it. You won't even, it won't be up for question. There will be no question. All right? You will know. Nice. What else I plan to do? I forgot. Assignment. I have an assignment for you this week, but real fast. So you've been waiting a while.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying, we shouldn't seek help from other men, other people.
Seek help from no one. If they're not pointing you back to the source where your help come from, they can't help you.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. But going back to the whole Arkansas thing, so should we pronounce it Arkansas because everyone else pronounces it that way? What's wrong with saying Arkansas? I mean, the state of Kansas, we call it Kansas, right? We don't say Kansas, right?
Let me do this. Do you have any extra heroin?
I mean,
is it leftover?
Like New Orleans too. Like we say New Orleans, right? But people from over there say New Orleans.
Okay.
So what's the proper way to pronounce it? I mean, I don't think there's any formal way to pronounce it. I mean,
okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean that's just. I mean,
let me do this. Here's the assignment for 1 week. 1 week. 1 week. Only 1 week. The assignment. For 1 week, I wrote it down in my book. For 1 week, the only evil I want you to think about is the evil in you. For 1 week, only think about your evil, no one else. He like right on to his wife, girlfriend. Only think about your own evil for 1 week. What's the assignment, Joel?
To only look at your own evil throughout the week.
That's not what I said. Oh, okay.
That wasn't it?
No.
You lying.
Hassan, what's the assignment? See how people don't listen? What's the assignment?
What Joel said.
Amazing. What's the assignment? Hold on a minute.
The assignment is just to look at the evil in yourself.
The only evil I want you to think of is your own. You didn't say that. That's not what I said. You wasn't listening. And I say that because people don't listen. And they twist it. For an example, then I'm going. God says stay present. How many of you listen to that? To stay present. You don't stay present. You don't pay attention. You don't listen. You don't listen. I say Allahu Akbar here, protect your neck. You don't protect your neck. No, I'm playing. But you don't listen. You got to listen. Listen to the voice of God. He said, stay present. You have no problems. Stay present. You don't stay present. Be still and know. And he says to always stay present. 24 hours a day. Stay still. What's the assignment, Derek? This is my producer, folks, those who don't know. He black. What's the assignment?
To only focus on the evil in ourselves for a week, right? I didn't say it exactly how you said it, but.
How did I say it?
How you said it?
Yeah.
Only focus on the evil in you for a week. I think that's how you said it.
What did I say, Mimi?
You said only think about the evil in yourself.
Amazing. Last word. What did I say?
Hold on. So only think of.
I can see that she was a mess when you were young, huh?
To only think about the evil within yourself.
For 1 week.
Well, for 1 week.
The only evil I want you to think about is your own. Can y'all do that at least for 1 week? Yeah. All right, that's the assignment. That's going to be interesting, huh? It's going to be interesting. So listen, stay present, practice staying present. Everything will work itself out if you practice staying present. Not in your head, thinking about the past or the future and all that, unless you try to figure out a business or some practical thinking, right? But practice staying present. I do it all the time. I practice staying present, and it works, really. Stay present. Everything else works itself out because there are no problems when you're present with God, with the truth. Practice that. Alone, it will work, all right? So do the silent prayer, stay present, and you'll be fine. God loves us because things are going to get worse. They're not going to get better on earth. You can bank on this. But you can have perfect peace in the midst of everything that's going on around you. You will not bother by it, be bothered at all, 1 iota. It won't bother you. And it's not like you're not trying to make it bother. You just won't be bothered by it. It won't bother you. All right? Okay, I'm out of time.
Do you have a biblical question?
Oh. What is it, James?
Do you want to be different?
Oh. Do you want to be different? That's the biblical question. This is a doozy biblical question, too. This is like a Mamma Mia, Ula, season your galoshes. Olas. This is a doozy biblical question. What?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
What?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
Are you asking, do I want to be different from who I am, or do I want to be different from other people?
Did I ask you that?
I'm not sure what you asked.
I asked, do you want to be different?
Okay.
And he the PR person. See how your mind working already? It's already working, right? That's the devil. Really, that's the devil. So, I'm out of time. I forgot what I'm supposed to be doing here. Thank you all for your support. We're going to do the super chat. Yeah, we're going to, Joel, come on up. Who on birthday? Bill, Joel, Omi birthday. And I want you to come up so we can say goodbye to you, Mimi, in the same crowd. Come up. Anybody else birthday? Who? Is it your birthday? When was it? Come on up. And we're going to do a quick birthday thing, and then we out it. And then we do the donation. Get your money ready. This is a good time. This is a good time to be working on your donation. Pull your wallet out. So come on, Joel. Yeah. Oh, you do? That's how we usually do it. But everybody want to see Mimi. You have no idea how many guys ask about Mimi. But okay, let's shut off everything. Thank you all for coming. That was amazing fellowship today. I hope it worked. Thank you so much. All right.